Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are here for our Formula 1 23 driver career mode. This is race 13 of 14 in this rookie season, and it is going to be a big race because we actually have a chance to clinch the championship in this one. I was way too lazy to do the math, but based on what I see here, as long as we can keep it close with Felipe Drugovich, we can clinch the Drivers' Championship. We are going to be keeping an eye on him throughout this entire race. He has had a pretty good season thus far, but he's still a lot of points behind us, 58 points to be exact, and he is obviously going to be trying his absolute best to close in on that gap and give him one last shot in the season finale at Abu Dhabi to clinch the championship. And it's going to be a lot easier for him to do that because we have wet weather throughout the weekend. The sprint race is going to be 100% wet, and then we will see come the feature race. It says partly cloudy with a little bit of rain. You know how it goes. But we are here on our qualifying lap, and we came out at the right time because we are going to get a little bit of a tow off of our teammate Daruvala, who took himself out of the championship very early on. He's got 107 points right now. He is just behind Theo Boucher, who also took himself out of the championship. He just had a very poor back half of the season, but he's going to give us a tow all the way down into turn one. We did not put up any warm-up laps or anything. This is our one and only lap. As I say in almost all the videos, I like to reserve the tires, pick up the rubber, gives us a little more grip with the fresh tires, and usually that helps our performance in qualifying, puts us in a good spot. I think I did get pretty lucky this season for the most part with qualifying. I don't mind having a wet race as long as I can qualify well. I can usually park the bus and keep the other drivers behind me. So here again, we have a dry qualifying, and hopefully this is going to put us up in at least the top 2 rows through Ascari. I don't know what our delta is or anything because we haven't put up a time yet, but I will say the lap has been feeling pretty good. Nissany, Calderon, Bushong, Vesti down in the bottom 5 alongside myself until we cross that line, put up a lap. We're currently at a 1:19, which I think is good. We'll see here as we approach the line. Qualifying is over. Can we qualify in front of Felipe Drugovich? We are going to cross the line here, and we are going to get a P3. So that's actually really good. But Monza is not one of my strongest tracks in F2. The heavy braking zones really take me for a ride. But the bad news here is that Felipe Drugovich is starting on pole position. He's going to get those 2 points as well. So that will put him at a 56-point gap alongside myself. But let's get into the sprint race. Hopefully, with Felipe Drugovich behind us, we can keep him behind us throughout the duration of this race, outscore him by a few points, and get those 2 points back that we lost by losing out to him in qualifying here. Alright, it's time for the sprint race here. We're starting down in P8 after a pretty good qualifying, I would say personally, but we got wet weather conditions once again. I think this is like 4 races in a row now that we've had at least one wet session in either the sprint or the feature race, and I don't know how we're gonna do here because our pace in the wet, at least in the last few races, have been pretty good. But the one thing I would say is that the tracks that we've been at where it is raining, it is very hard to overtake on those tracks, so a lot easier to defend. It's a little different here in Monza. Turn 1, obviously, massive overtaking spot into the final corner at the Parabolica. Pretty decent overtaking spot as well, and some people try to overtake going into Ascari, so a lot of overtaking spots here. We're going to have to be quick. Hopefully we can stay in the points here. I think we are in the points. P8 is 1 point in the sprint race, and then we are starting in P3. So it's going to be very important that we get a good start. The feature race, I'm not sure what the exact weather is, but the forecast does say that there's probably going to be some rain at some point in the race. In the sprint race here, though, we do have a wet weather sprint race from start to finish. We're behind Armstrong and Poucher, and then we got Felipe Drugovich just 2 spots behind us as he qualifies on pole position for this race. Now we are going to get set on the grid here, see what we can do in this sprint race. Hopefully we can stay in the points and, you know, further that lead that we have over Felipe Dragovich in this Drivers' Championship. We need to get a good start here because we are starting on the inside of the track, preferably. I'd like to be on the outside going into turn 1, so we're going to attack the outside here. We got 5 red lights, and this Monza sprint race is underway. We're going to try and thread the needle between Pourchaire and Armstrong, and we're going to get that outside position. We're going to brake very, very late here, or very early, sorry, just to avoid contact with anyone. Oh my gosh, if we lock up the rears. There's Sato, he's going to get past us, that's fine. We're going to take 3 spots to start this sprint race. Pourchaire now trying to get the overtake done on us here. He's recovering from a very poor second half of the season. He was leading the championship at one point. And look at that, we are just drifting once again. He's going to try and push us wide. Actually, he kind of did give us the space there, but we somehow managed to keep that position and get a little bit of a lead here, as Fittipaldi and Sato are getting way in front of us. We are literally in a drag race right now. I can't see him behind me. I can't see him in front of me. Oh no, his front wing is right there. And we are losing out to the drivers in front of us. But it is going to be a battle between me and Theo Pourchaire. We're just going to try and muscle him around the corner of turn 1. And he's going to get a little bit worse of an exit. And we're going to take that spot right back from him. P5. Hopefully Iwasa can keep him busy for a little bit. Let me, you know, get a little breathing room. Try and secure this P5. It's only going to be 3 points for the team, but with Dragovich not in the points right now, it can't do anything but help me. Oh my gosh, look at that. No wonder they are flying out way in front of us. We're just trying to survive here. The pace in the wet is not like how it was in Zandvoort. Wet pace in Zandvoort was actually pretty decent. At least in the feature race. Now it's going to be Iwasa getting past Theo Pourchaire. Oh my goodness, he almost slipped. He almost lost control of the car. I think he was trying to go for a move and I might have caught him off a little bit. But I have a right to defend my position. It's Pourchaire, Iwasa, and Logan Sargent here, all trying to, you know, get this P5 out of my hands. But we're going to swoop around the Parabolica and probably get ready for another drag race as we suffer a little bit of contact from Theo Pourchaire. And he's going to get past us. He gets a good exit. Really good exit, honestly. But we are going to have the slipstream here. Can we get this P5 back? Going down into turn 1, we are going to send it. Try and go late on the brake. No, we went early on the brakes. I lied. Oh my god. I can't stop the car. Oh my gosh. No, he's going to get past us here. Yeah, he earned that overtake. You can't keep control of the car right now. We are headed on to the final lap here. Logan Sargent has managed to overtake Iwasa. And look at this train. We've just been holding up this whole race. I see Felipe Dragovich also back there lurking as who's that? Armstrong tries to go for the move on Iwasa, and Logan Sargent trying to go for the move on us here. And oh crap, we went wide there, and someone is gonna get the move done past. No one's gonna pass us, really? What a piss poor performance, and no one has managed to pass us. I'm starting to think F2 is letting me just, you know, keep these, or win these races, or keep my position at the very least, because every time this happens, no one is able to, like, pass me for some reason. Like, look how we're driving right now, and people just can't pass us. That's how bad we are in the wet. Okay, there they had to brake, because I literally just blocked the apex completely, and I probably should be getting, like, a dangerous driving flag here or something, but we got a second gap now over Iwasa as T overtakes Logan Sargent, and I feel bad for the person directly behind me because they always get the short end of the stick. They're behind me. I screw up on one of the corners, causing them to have a major you know, reaction, and that does not affect their time very well. And then the person behind them who has a little bit more reaction time is able to kind of just swoop by them. But Yuri Vips is going to win the sprint race here, and we are presumably going to cross the line here in P6. Not well deserved. Probably say one of the worst sprint races I've had this season. Yeah, let's just get into the feature race. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Please no rain. Now I think it'll be a little bit easier for us here in this feature race to get the lead and actually keep it. Well, maybe not keep it, but definitely to get into the lead, because we are starting in P3 here. We only got 2 cars in front of us, which are Cordeal and Felipe Dragovich, who I would say has his last opportunity here to really stay in contention. If he screws up this P1, he's kind of screwed, because the maximum points you could score in a race weekend here in F2 is 37, I believe, if you get the 2 points for pole, 10 points for P1 in the sprint, and then 25 for P1 in the feature race. And then times 2 races, that would be good enough to pass us, assuming we don't score any points. So again, he's gonna have to just do his job. As long as we do our job, I think we are good for this championship. If he really screws up here, he might lose out on the championship, and we could potentially, I think, clinch it this race if he were hypothetically to DNF or something along those lines. If we were to go on to win the race, I think that would seal the deal for us. But let's stay focused here. Let's see what we can do in P3. Because the sprint race did not go well for us at all. Did not go well. Probably the worst sprint race of the season, but somehow we managed to keep that P6, I believe it was, because Theo Pocher took our P5 from us about midway through that race. I did add a few clicks of downforce of the front wing. You're allowed to change that going into the race sessions after Parc Fermé. So we have a few extra clicks of downforce. Hopefully that helps us just enough without compromising our speed down the straight. But we're going to see here as we approach the grid here in Monza, trying to secure an F2 championship, and more importantly, trying to secure a seat in F1 with AlphaTauri. Let's get right into it. But can we overtake Cordeal and Felipe Dragovich going into turn 1? We're about to find out here as we got 5 red lights. And this feature race is underway. Felipe Dragovich looking a little slow. Cordeal looks to cut us off, but we are just going to get there in time before he can take out the lane. And let's see if we can go around the outside. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of wheel spin there. And we are wheel to wheel with Cordeal. Another wheel spin again, a little bit of a snap. Gonna short shift just to get that traction, and we are up into P2. Felipe Dragovich still leading this race. I'm not confident that we can catch up to him and get past him without the DRS and in these wet conditions. But as long as we can keep this P2, it'll minimize the damage that Felipe Dragovich does to us in this race if he wins it. And look at that, the train is already starting. Cordeal is there, Armstrong is there, Pocher is there. And look, they are battling with each other. Oh gosh, and Cordeal, I think this is, trying to go down the inside once again, and look how deep we go into the corner. Super slow, just, you know, doing our classic hold up the train move. And we're still in P2 somehow. They just don't want to overtake me. They're probably scared of me, whatever. Now we're gonna box this lap, and we've gotten a little bit lucky because Cordeal and Pocher either got into a little bit of a tie-up. If they did, the replay is probably up right now. If not, I may have cut one of them off accidentally on the Parabolica, and that's what caused just a chain reaction. But they're definitely a lot quicker than us, because when that initial incident happened, they dropped to like 3.7 seconds, and now they are almost less than a second. So we're in a little bit of trouble here. We're going to get an early head start getting into the pits here. Hopefully no one is pitting this lap. Oh, and there's a yellow. There's a yellow. Okay, doesn't look like... Oh, no, there's one white car stalled there at the end of Ascari. I'm hoping that this gap here is good enough to avoid any sort of contact. Is there anyone coming in the pits with us? I don't think so. I think we're okay. Yes, okay, okay. No one's coming into the pits here. Why is there no tire on my car? Okay, that was weird. There's no tire there. It was just the rim. But we're coming out in P21 as Theo Pocher is making his way around the Parabolica, and we might be racing out of the corner. Okay, so I think he had to go in for a wing replacement because he was right behind us, I think. And now he is right beside us here in P22 after pitting, so it makes sense if he went into pit. Also, Pocher is going in for his stop now, And we got all these drivers coming out of the pits right now. We're going to be racing them out of the pit lane. Who is that? Cordeal. We're just going to swoop by him just in time to retain that P2. I was a little worried there that we were too slow to keep the P2, but we're just quick enough with 3 laps to go left in this race. Dragovic running away with it, of course, with an 11-second gap here, pulling on Max Verstappen. Here in Monza, he's desperate to get those points and try close that gap. He probably will close that gap just a little bit after this race, and then we will have one final showdown in the season finale. And we are headed on to the last lap here. We've managed to get a little bit of a lead on Cordeal through that Parabolica corner. Dragovic 16 seconds ahead now. We were just not a match for him whatsoever today. And he is going to take a commanding win here in Monza. And this is essentially what we've been doing the whole race, just drifting around corners. No consistency whatsoever. But this AI just is scared to pass me. Maybe I've just struck so much fear into them from fear of crashing because we're so all over the place. Their engineers are telling them to be careful around me. And Theo Pourchaire out of the session. I think that will officially end his championship run. And yeah, we are going to get P2 once we get to the line, obviously. And that should be 18 points if we're on F1 point standards here. I believe we are for the feature race. I might be mistaken. I know I was mistaken before about the point system. But Dragovic is going to cross the line here to take P1. Theo Pourchaire parked on the side of the road. A horrible finish for him. But we are looking at a P2 going into the final race of the season. And now that I think about it, we might have won the championship. I think we won the championship. Did we win it? Hey, let's go. Why is my math so bad? I thought we had 3 races left. That entire race? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Well, we won the championship. Let's go. So that is going to pretty much guarantee our seat in the in Formula 1 next season. Preferably we're going to sign with AlphaTauri, but we'll see what happens. World champion for Formula 2. Next up, Formula 1 World Champion. On top of that as well, we are going to win the Constructors' Championship. And like I've been saying from the start of this F2 season, I literally do not care about the Constructors' Championship, but we win it anyways by nearly 100 points, 95 to be exact. Shout out to Lightning McQueen, a little ironic, but yeah, 95 points. Felipe Dragovic wins this race, but it is not enough to hold me back from clinching our first Drivers' World Championship in Formula 2. Next will be Formula 1. But we got one race left in Abu Dhabi, even though we've already clinched the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors' Championship. So I guess this race is just going to be, you know, a fun session. Take it nice and easy. I don't really care how we finish because we already clinched both championships. And I guess we'll just take it as an opportunity to gear up for our rookie season in Formula 1. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. As always, if you've watched up to this point, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We are approaching 300 subscribers and I'd like to get there as quick as possible, so smash that subscribe button. Also, if you guys are looking forward to our Formula 1 debut, hit that notification bell so you guys know when the videos come out. For those of you who are new to the channel, if the thumbnail is blue, it's a driver career mode video. If the thumbnail is red, it is a my team career mode video. For those of you, again, who are new to the channel, and it might be a little bit confusing, but once you know what it is, it's pretty simple. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great night, everyone.